Okay, so I'm recording. If anybody's uncomfortable with that, please let me know. But again, Joe Ricker with AgrAbility. Just want to welcome everybody to the community of interest. Couple things that we would love your input on, some things that are developing for us. So first of all, we found out yesterday that the Farmers Veteran Coalition is tentatively going to get a stipend for a grant from Tractor Supply to provide adaptive technology to veterans in agriculture. So what does that mean for us in the COI? So if a beekeeper is a veteran and needs adaptive technology, they can use the process that the Farmers Veteran Coalition is going to put out. And I think what it's going to be is the same way they do their other fellowships and grants, which is about the January timeframe. You put in kind of a business plan and a need statement and the like, and then they will reimburse the purchase of that equipment, which I think is good news because I've had a couple of beekeepers reach out to me that need things like lifting devices and the like, and those lifting devices are about $700 to $800. So not only does it help us with veteran beekeepers to get accessible devices, but it will also we need to on maybe our end is that they're vetting for the adaptive devices is that they have to be in the AgrAbility toolbox. So it's probably puts a little bit of an onus for us and Ned. And that's how I was hoping Ned was going to make it on putting some of these things in there. So if anybody has an idea out there on an adaptive device that needs to go in the toolbox, let's put it in there sooner rather than later so that a veteran beekeeper can have the opportunity to get reimbursed for it. Justin, I know you and I have talked about a couple ideas. Did you have any ideas on adaptive devices that aren't in the toolbox or anything?
The tilting extractor from license.
Oh, that's a good one.
You can get it's about, if I remember the price, it was like $6,000, but with somebody in a wheelchair that has a good business plan, you know, even if the Farmers Coalition paid for half of it, they could help somebody immensely.
Yeah, no, that's excellent. So I would ask anybody in the group if they have any ideas of adaptive technology that needs to go in the toolbox. Ned is the lead for that for AgrAbility, or one of the board members for AgrAbility on that. So he can help us get those things in there. So please, if you have an idea, just shoot me an email or something, and we can try to get it in there. And that's an excellent one. I know. Is there a company, Justin, that makes a tilting top bar hive?
Horizontal bees, you guys are supposed to add that already.
We have a horizontal hive in there. I'm not sure we have a tilting hive.
No, he's working on mine, which is a tilting hive. It's horizontal bees in North Carolina.
Okay. Yeah. So if he starts with if he gets a tilting hive developed, we can put the tilting hive in there as well.
All right, I should have it hopefully by the end of July, early August.
Okay. Hey, Jonah, did you want to say something?
Yeah, I just wanted to take a moment, if you don't mind, to introduce myself to the group. Hi, guys. I'm Jonna Sanders. I'm a beekeeper in Alexandria, Virginia. I am a longtime disability advocate. My father was disabled as a result of a traumatic brain injury his entire life. I come from an agricultural family who's been farming in Illinois since 1872. And I have my own disabilities as a result of scoliosis, and I'm putting off back surgery. I've been putting off back surgery for a long time. And so I use Slovenian Aja hives. I also import them, but I am a big advocate for that hive style because they really require no lifting. You put them in place once and then you don't touch them again, and your lifting is 6 pounds instead of 60. That's a style that works for me, and it might work for many other people. The other thing that I would like to say is that Slovenia has a lot of equipment that's not available in the US marketplace. There's a group called Logar Trade that make adaptive extractors equipment. They're beautiful. It's far above the quality that Lyson does, or that is available through Man Lake. Extractors that the legs are adapted to any height, which can be helpful to someone, who is wheelchair bound. So that, or, people who are using limbs, the challenge has been getting them here at a cost. And I've been working with that manufacturer to try to introduce them to the US marketplace. So if there's some grant money available to support that effort, there might be something that we could do to get that equipment here to this country, to, specific groups like AgrAbility. So I just wanted to throw that out there. And, if anyone is interested, come out and see my hives. I know that Monica and Mission Believe are close by here, but, we're willing to demonstrate the hives and some of the unique details that are helpful to many people who are using them. So thanks for your time, folks.
Hey, Jonah, that's fantastic. Can we ask, maybe if you haven't seen it, I shared the link to the AgrAbility toolbox. If you could do some research in there and just let us know what you think we're short on. We can certainly try to get it added. And there are things from other countries in there. The hive lifter is actually from Poland. So as long as they ship, we can add it to there as well. So I saw somebody from Mission Believe on there too. Did you want to say hi?
No, I just agreed with her. I just wanted to say I agree with her. I think out of a lot of the styles of beekeeping with disabilities, I really think the Aja hives are the way to go, because of the lack of lifting, and they're still styled as how a colony would grow. A European honeybee colony would grow. So I just was hoping that made sure that was on the list.
Yeah, absolutely. So I shared that link, and I'll share it in the email out to the group again, that anybody that, kind of wants to look at the toolbox and just provide feedback and say, hey, you're missing this, or hey, it'd be nice to have that. We're more than happy to work through adding it with Ned. I'm not sure of that process, but Ned will be on the email.
Awesome. I appreciate that. So let me just take a minute. I'll introduce myself. I'm Monica Schmidt. I'm the founder and director of Mission Believe. We're a veterans and first responder beekeeping program. We're located up, our home base is in Tawnytown, but we work with veterans and first responders all over. The key to our program is our beekeeping education along with support. We were seeing around that a lot of organizations weren't providing the education to become a beekeeper. And as a beekeeper with experience, I know how important it is to be an educated beekeeper. So our foundation is on education and support and teaching them how to redirect their negative energy into something more positive through beekeeping.
Hey, thank you. And Tawny Town's in what state?
Maryland.
Maryland. Okay.
Joe, if you don't mind allowing for sharing the screen, I can share a picture of our home little apiary that we're using. And I also support education at younger ages for beekeepers. So I have a couple of young helpers. If you can allow me, I will go ahead and share that so that everyone can get a look at what Slovenian style beekeeping looks like.
Okay, I think I just said that.
There you go. So in this type of beehive structure, they're kept in an accessory structure. You can put them in the side of a barn. You can put them in the side of a shed. You can build any structure of any size that you can design. I've seen apiaries with 100 hives, and they're generally stacked. They go into place once and they never move again. They're opened from the back like a kitchen cabinet, and there is an inner door that can be removed, and then the frames come out like books sliding out from a shelf. So your lifting is about 6 pounds instead of lifting an entire frame box. So these are my children who are involved in our 4-H county beekeeping group here in Alexandria, Virginia. So in those, each one of those hives that you're seeing is this, each one is the same size as 3 Langstroth deep boxes. So it's a large hive.
That's super. Do you have a picture of the inside?
I do. Let me drag some out here. Give me a few minutes. I'll let the group continue. I'll let you know when I'm ready.
Okay. Any other thoughts on adaptive technology? I don't think we have any hand tools in there. And so I think we probably need to look at some hand tools as well. Extended tools, and, even if it's even $10 or $15, some of the hand tools probably start to mount up in cost as well. So we'll see if we can get some hand tools in there. And I've got the tilting license extractor. Okay, excellent. Okay, well, while John is looking that up, I'll go to the other topic we wanted to talk about today, and that is the Hive Life Conference. So Justin and I met with Cayman, who runs the Hive Life Conference, and what we kind of thought would be a good idea, again, would like input from everybody, is that the Hive Life Conference is in Tennessee from 5 and 6 January. I had it written down, but I can't find it right now. Yep, 5, 6, and 7 January in Tennessee. So what we talked to Cayman about doing was having a table there for accessible beekeeping and veteran beekeeping, maybe just making it one table with 1 or 2 people there with flyers so that people could go there. They could see it's about veteran beekeeping and accessible beekeeping. They could pick up information in flyer format, ask questions to who's at the table. And then we thought about having maybe a social gathering. And I think we can get, I can talk to AgrAbility and see if they can fund it, but do a social gathering either before or after, where not only do people that are maybe needing accessible beekeeping devices or adaptive technology can go to and talk and say, hey, it'd really be nice if I could have something, right? But also where we could get commercial producers there that may look at it and go, hey, there might be worthwhile to invest in some of these things or to build some of these things that people have interest in. So we hope to do that at the Hive Life Conference, again, 6 and 7 January. I'm waiting for them to post the vendor information and work through that. And then I need to find a location nearby. The benefit of doing it outside of the conference as a gathering is that then everybody can go. So if they're really interested in it and they're in classes throughout the day, something either before or after classes allows people the flexibility as kind of a working group. So I would love any input you guys might have on that as well.
That sounds amazing. For different organizations that want to join, would there be a fee for that? Would we split those fees, or is that covered? How would that work if we want to be at the table?
So I think I could talk to AgrAbility and find out how much they can cost out of their gift fund. If anybody's challenged with money to attend, let me know. I would expect that the table, that we only really would need one table, because they're going to be $300 to $400 probably per table, that people could put flyers kind of at our table, and then they wouldn't have to pay for that table. I'd ask again AgrAbility to pay for it, but I'm waiting for the cost to get posted on how much it's going to be.
Amazing.
If you could let us know, because maybe we could be a part of that as like a vendor or something.
Yeah, no, absolutely. If you look at the link I sent to the Hive Life Conference, they don't have the vendor.
I have it.
Do you? Yeah. Yeah. So my thought is we could do a shared table, right? I mean, I don't think normally you don't need all that space. Everybody's going to come to the topic, right?
Yep. Yep, that would
Good.
be great.
Okay. I'm sorry, Mattis, I think I cut you off. Did you have something to say?
Oh no, that's great. Yeah, I just want to know about pricing, and I'm assuming we just pay for our own tickets to get into the place. And yeah, it's a great idea. Great idea.
Okay, yeah, let me talk. Sometimes there's some gift funds out of AgrAbility to support some of these things. So I'll see if I can, I'll see if I can get any scholarship also for vendors as well.
Amazing. Yeah, let me know, please.
Okay. Justin, is that, did I capture everything that we talked about, right?
Yeah, that captured everything we talked about. The only thing is I don't know if they have a limitation on the number of people that are allowed to be at the vendor booth. Some conferences do like 2 people allowed to be per table. I don't know if there's an extra cost to have more people. So if we did have multiple people from different organizations, if there was a cheaper add-on than the full cost of a ticket, then that might be one way to talk to Cayman about having about we're gonna need a table for like we're gonna need an area for the hardware. I want to try to get hardware down from somewhere. Better B will be there, so I'm gonna try to see if they can bring a licensed tilting extractor. I know Joe Ricker or that we're close to Tennessee that could bring adaptive technology, right?
Yeah, I'll work with Ned and get some adaptive beekeeping stuff that he has on hand, like the hive lifter there.
Yeah, and I'll bring my hive from Horizontal Bees. It's tilting, so we'll be able to show that. And yeah, I mean that's fine. We just gotta work out the logistics. If we're allowed to have multiple people to the same table, or if we need to get a couple booths to be able to spread out and actually be able to give justice to each individual company and nonprofit, as well as the idea behind.
Yeah, I was gonna ask, suggest that maybe we can look into like a section, because this event is all about the different aspects of beekeeping, and here we are all on the adaptive side of beekeeping. Maybe they'll let us have a couple of areas all together, so we're kind of like an individualized section at the conference.
Okay. Yeah, I tried to, they offered a small room for part of the day that would only fit, less than a dozen people. But let me look at that. So you're talking maybe like a corner area or something where we're all together. I'll see what I
Yeah,
can do with that.
yeah, because you can express what it is. Like you guys are going to have adaptive equipment. My organization, we provide virtual education for them, so anybody in the world can access what we provide. Everybody kind of has their own entity, and if we had this area, it would be very accessible for people to be able to understand the full aspect of everything.
Okay. No, that's an excellent idea. I'll look into that as well.
Joe, if you're ready, I can share a couple of pictures so that
Absolutely.
everyone kind of get an idea about the structure of the ajas. So this is the front side of that hive that I already showed, and this is the back door. And then going inside, this is the way that they open up. You can see the 3 different levels the lowest chamber obviously being your brood chamber, and your honey supers being the middle and upper chambers. And then inside you have removable inner doors that keep your bees in place, so they're not coming through. There's usually a 2-inch piece of foam that runs the length of the interior of the hive that provides insulation as well as keeping your moisture down. And each door, as you can see here, has flaps both top and bottom to allow some of the excess humidity to escape. So this is the standard setup of a Slovenian Aja hive. The traditional ones are normally 2 levels. And the ones that I had adapted for my use here in the mid-Atlantic states and our separate pollen flows and nectar flows is 3-level hive. Does anyone have questions?
I was just gonna ask, I think you might have said it, those are standard size frames, so they fit in everything.
I adapted this hive for my own use. And this is the kind that I'm currently importing. They are the frames that you just saw are the same size as a Langstroth deep frame. So they will either accept a plastic or a wax foundation in Langstroth deep size. So they are these hives are fully interchangeable with US extraction equipment and foundation found in the US marketplace.
Well, that's super.
Yeah, it's a nice change. Monica, did you have questions?
Nope, just can't wait to get down to your place.
I hope to see you.
I know my dust is almost settled, so yeah. So hopefully, I have my dad's funerals next weekend, and then we go to EAS, and then we have a big fundraiser at the farm for World Honeybee Day.
Good.
And it's like this huge little festival thing that we do, and to raise money for the organization. And then hopefully after that I can scoot down there.
Good.
I'm gonna bring my craftsman with me. He's sitting right here. He's been eyeballing all your equipment.
Great. Well, anyone in the group who's interested to come, we have hives around the country as well as in Alexandria, Virginia, where we're headquartered.
So Joel, let me ask you just this. Is there a company that produces that, or do you have individual carpentry on that?
No, I have no such skills. It would be nice, but no. So I went through the process of, this has been sort of a journey. Justin and Monica have both heard that story, so I apologize to them. But I started out in beekeeping knowing that my own physical limitations were going to be challenging. And after 2 seasons of working with long Langstroth hives, I decided this is not a good solution. They're not overwintering well. I don't think this is the best solution for working with bee biology, which is vertical and not horizontal. And since my family is ethnically Slovenian, I was aware for 20 years past of the Aja hives, which are the system that my family back in Slovenia have been using since the early 1900s. And so at that point, I got on a plane, went back to Slovenia, and went all over the country to see who was building them there and who was building them well. And during that process, I learned a whole lot, and I became familiarized with a small company by the name of Medlis, Medles, which is headquartered in Trebolja, which is a very small town, very, very high up in the Alps. And the individual who makes these hives trained as a master carpenter and used to work for a company that made high-end office furniture and cabinetry. He did that for about 30 years until the company went belly up during the recession in 2006-07. And at that point he said, well, what am I going to do next? I've always wanted to be a beekeeper. And so he built his own apiary. The buildings that you've seen are called Cheblniaki. which literally means bee house. And so he built his own Chablignac and he started building his own hives. And at that point, everyone in Slovenia wanted them too because of the quality. And so that's where the company came from. So I imported them first for my own use and the use of some additional Slovenian American beekeepers here in the US. And started importing them a few years ago. But it's a very less invasive, gentle method of beekeeping, which minimizes stings, maximizes overwintering success, and it has saved my back. So I've not yet been stung this season. I was stung once last season, and I have, since I've started running this hive system, I have not lost a colony due to overwintering. So, it's a great success story. And, for people with disabilities, it's a great workaround.
No, that's super. So AgrAbility could put in to the toolbox that company in Europe to get them from.
You can. I actually import them through my own company, but that Medalist is the source of the hives.
Okay, well, I mean, if you're going to be the source, that's fine too. But
Okay.
I just want to make sure that they can put in some homegrown stuff too. But just want to make sure we kind of had that path, and I understood that path. Super, thank you. All right, so that's really what we wanted to talk about today. And then obviously next month we'll kind of get a couple steps closer, and I'll have some more answers on the Hive Life conference. And then maybe next week we could also talk about anything as we shoot around emails, anything that you think might need to go in the AgrAbility toolbox or beekeeping as well. And so I'll just go around the Hollywood squares here and see if anybody's got any other comments. Jonah, did you have anything?
The one piece of equipment that I currently use that I think would be helpful is a long-handled, you were talking about equipment for the Agile hives. There is a long-handled hive tool that is, I think, helpful. It looks a little bit like a snow shovel, but with about a 2-foot pole on it that allows you to reach deep into the hives. So that might be helpful for folks working Langstroth or line lungs as well.
But super. I appreciate that. And if you have any other special tools, just let us know and we'll try to get them added.
Yeah, I will. So I will drop a link to Logar Trade, which is where all of the stainless equipment that is available in Slovenia comes from. But they impart primarily to the European marketplace. They're not imported into the United States. You can get it there, but it's expensive. But the quality is amazing. And specifically looking at someone who's in a wheelchair, that you could set up your tanks to be accessible to you at whatever level of mobility, height wise, would work for you with those pieces of equipment.
Super. Okay, thank you. Mission Believe, did you have anything?
Nope, that's it. This was a great meeting. I'm glad I was able to make this one. Thank you for including me.
I'm glad you could make it. Mattis?
No, nothing really to add. And again, thank you so much. And Jonah Sanders, that was just amazing what you presented. I'm very inspired by your story. But for now, nothing to add. Thank you.
No, thank you. Justin?
No, thanks for being here, everybody.
Ms. Rodriguez?
Hello, everyone. I was coming late, I'm sorry, but I enjoy looking at all things that Jana shared with us. Thank you very much. I'm in the process of starting working with my group for beekeeping. It's going to be called AgrAbility here in North Carolina. So the manager for AgrAbility in North Carolina.